All right, all right, all right. Chat, let me know if y'all can hear me. We back with another pod. This is what, episode 3. We back. We back. I got the gang up in here. You already know we about to get a little all right, Connor, he getting back up in there. We about to get a little crazy, you feel me? They in the chat, turn up chat. Hello to everybody out there in YouTube, X, Kick, Twitch. We live every Friday, 9 a.m. And we about to get into this market, man. We about to get into this market. What's going on with this market? Uh making sure the panel is locked in and everything because we got a lot to talk about, man. We want to make sure, we want to make sure this not the top. We gonna keep going. We at this super cycle. We go higher. All right, let me get the panel up in here. First and foremost, let's get that on the screen there. Turn up, Kelsey. Wes, what's good? EA, talk to me nice. I'm grabbing everybody on right now. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. What up? How y'all feeling today?
Hey, yo.
Hey
What's going on?
everyone.
Yeah.
How
How we
y'all feeling
doing?
today, man? Y'all ain't scared, is y'all? You feel me? Is this the top? I want some analysis, man. Yesterday was a crazy day. A lot of the chat in my live stream, they was a little bit concerned from that PPI report, but my resolve staying strong, my bullish spirit staying strong. I just want to know how y'all feeling this morning.
Well, none of the indicators have said that there's a top in, or they've indicated that the top is in. And traditionally, we haven't even seen anything yet. Every single cycle, we always have um, a time in the cycle where we hit the mania phase, and this has happened throughout Bitcoin's life. We have not hit any type of mania phase at the moment. Nothing at all. There is no mania. There's not very much retail in, and I know we're going to speak about that soon as well. And it's just funny, the people that are most insecure, they're the ones who have the loudest voices, if that makes sense. People who are calm, people who have been through several cycles, they're not even battering an eyelid.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat where I personally, I'm dips to me or dips. I've had my thesis, seeing ETH break its all-time high. Bitcoin still doing its thing, but it's like until this thesis plays out, I'm just so confident in that. And dips are going to be dips until we get to that point where I feel we are definitely overbought, potentially major retail frenzy. And right, and a lot of the indicators that normally we've seen have not really hit yet. So I'm still locked into that thesis.
I agree with the panel here so far. As I said, my thesis is still for October, so none of this actually just shakes me out or anything. I'm still just here. I even tweeted out red days are for buying, and I bought yesterday.
What happened to that, man? Because we got to talk about the psychology of the market. A lot of people forget, some of the greatest investors subscribe to the theme: buying the fear, selling the green. So, like, I'm with you guys. My resolve still stands strong. Hey, yo, how you feeling?
Bro, I'm feeling great. You know what I'm saying? As far as like taking profits, it might be time, you know what I'm saying, to take a little bit off the top, DCA out. But, one of the biggest communities in the space is the meme coin community. You feel me? So it's always something always going on. I can't lose.
It's funny hearing you say DCA out, man, because the last couple of streams you was very strong on holding your bags, man, and being a diamond hand holder.
Yeah. I mean, I'm holding, but it's always good to take a little bit off the top. You don't want to round trip the whole cycle and not get nothing out of it. So if you've been loading up, this whole year, especially, we seen like a little crash, what I'm saying, a little fear in the market back in what, June, July. It's time to take a little bit of profit, bro.
Well, we had the Japan carry trade last year as well. And I think even with that, it was pretty much obvious that it's the same sort of people who are crying wolf. And to be fair, if I'm completely honest, I am a little bit fed up with it now, especially when they think that you don't know what you mean. So it's just one of those things. The newbies tend to come in very all guns blazing. It's like they know everything. Unless you've read several books, I won't even take you seriously if you haven't read the Bitcoin Standard, if I'm completely honest. If you've read books on markets, cycles, and all the rest of it, and if you've studied Bitcoin and you've studied altcoins, that's when people should be taking you seriously. That's when your opinion matters the most, if that makes sense, because everybody has feelings, but feelings in crypto get you wrecked.
I agree with what you were saying earlier too, Crypto Princess, about those indicators going off, especially with Bitcoin. We haven't broken the Pi cycle top, the MRV, like the M2 Global is still going up. If you look at indicators like I personally use, the ultimate RSI, these indicators are still bullish. We're still above moving averages that are bullish. The bull market bands, we're still above that. So the overreaction, I just was like, what? This is the time really to lock in, especially if you truly believe Ethereum could possibly start an altcoin season. Not to
And
interrupt you
yesterday,
there, EA.
while all that news was going on, I just gave you guys the link on Telegram, how the forfeited Bitcoin is going to start to strategic reserve here in the U.S. So that's even more bullish news. The strategic reserve is about to start, or they're going to announce whatever soon. So you can check out the link. I put it in a Telegram.
Good catalyst. It was kind of odd how Scott came out there and said, "Oh, we don't plan on buying Bitcoin," and then an hour later, it's like he got that call from Big Dog Trump, like, "Well, maybe we can find an efficient way to kind of like, without pumping the market, we can find an efficient way to buy Bitcoin." So, like, guys, don't trust the news. Trust your instinct. Trust your research, as Crypto Princess says. But like, learn. Always be a sponge, man. TA helped my experience in crypto. A lot of people don't believe in it, but it 10 times my experience in crypto. So I'm just speaking from my personal experience, guys.
Nice.
Speaking of retail, though, I heard a lot of people saying in my chat and even on crypto Twitter, some people are saying retail is here. I don't truly believe that retail is here. I remember how FOMO felt in 2021. I don't know how I felt in 2017. I wasn't here. But what's y'all take on that? How do y'all feel about people that saying that retail is here?
I've been saying that, and I feel like now people are starting to notice. It's just that retail isn't focused on what we've been focused on, utility and things like that. They just been degens, just like the vast majority of people, just playing memes on Solana. That's all they really been doing. And also, you won't notice as much that they're here, is because last stream, I'm pretty sure Crypto Princess said, she mentioned how much more altcoins is now in this cycle, meaning the money is even more spread out. So you can't even notice that they're here, but they're here. Might not be like as like last cycle, or because they're buying utility last cycle and things like that that the YouTubers were hyping up. But now this cycle, they're more focused on memes, just gambling, things like that. But that's just my opinion.
Okay. I tend to look at some of the stats, like app rankings and just on-chain activity. From that perspective, just from the numbers on some Jerome Powell type shit, it doesn't necessarily confirm retail is here, so I can't necessarily agree with that. But
And
I
not to
understand what you're
mention,
saying. It's a lot more retail on chain though, opposed to centralized exchanges like prior cycles.
Well,
actually, Coinbase does have a lot of. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you carry on.
Coinbase actually does have a lot of users, and the waitlist itself just showed you that there's a bunch of people for that waitlist. That may be a majority of just normal people that's already in crypto, but a vast majority of new people that wants to come into crypto, they don't want to deal with the centralized exchanges, like Binance, KuCoin. Most likely they'll use Coinbase and things like that. They don't even want to use MetaMask. So it's hard for you to even see that they're here sometimes, because they're probably just holding. Or even with the ETFs, that's another way of seeing that retail could be here a little bit on Robinhood and things like that. They're just buying the ETFs and things like that. So they're keeping it even more safe on that side. Then you got the degen side.
I will say, I
I
was
agree,
going
Pie
to
guys.
say, I like your point about the ETFs. I was going to say, whether or not retail is here and how active they will be. I mean, I personally don't think they're here, but I'll tell you who is here. Companies are here, institutions are here. One public trading company is adding Bitcoin to its balance sheet almost every day. Strategic reserves are popping up everywhere.
Facts.
Big money is here. There are 58 million millionaires in the world. Every single millionaire, it's mathematically impossible for them to all have Bitcoin. Now, if we look at so many Bitcoins are lost, actually, if we take that out of the equation, if we say every millionaire in the world who wants to own Bitcoin, the maximum that they can get is 0.36 Bitcoin. That's it. And that's if we look at 21 million Bitcoins. Obviously, we don't have 21 million Bitcoins left because most of them have a lot of them have been lost. They estimate between 3 to 4 million, if not more, have already been lost. When we talk about billionaires now, the difference between a massive company and a billionaire, as soon as the switch goes for a billionaire, he doesn't need to go to his company. He doesn't need to go to his shareholders. He doesn't need to go to the board. He can literally buy Bitcoin as it is straight away within minutes. On OTC, there are only 150,000 Bitcoins left. On exchanges as a whole, like I'm just talking about all of exchanges, we're talking about I can't remember how much it was now, just a couple of million, like not very many Bitcoin at all. And most of them are not for sale because already people sometimes store Bitcoin on exchanges. So retail might not be here. And I personally don't think it is. I'm going to go with Millie on that. But I'll tell you who else is here. Companies are here, institutions are here, and countries are here.
What you got on there, Connor?
Yeah. For me, I would say personally, I also do not think retail is here. I think, yes, they've definitely been on and off coming in, but I think a good sign is pump fun, or maybe not even pump fun, but pump fun runners. We haven't seen crazy volume, I feel like, going into 0 to 100 million type coins. Um, like crazy. I just feel like even in 2024, when we kind of did have this retail frenzy within a specific narrative, we saw coins just flying out of nowhere, going from nothing to crazy valuations. And I feel like with a lot of memes, even though now there are a lot of launch pads, I feel like something like that, just seeing the kind of volume, I think it still should be a lot higher than it is right now. And I think a lot of launch pads could be getting more volume if there was still more of an influx of, people that were going to come onto it. I like to watch a lot of launch pad volume just across the board.
Definitely a good metric, and just the overall macro, right? At the end of the day, I
Yeah.
tell my community this all the time. Like we still in QT, so it's hard to even think the magnitude of how a real rally or altcoin season could look in an environment where things are not being restricted. So, uh,
Yeah.
AOKG, is retail here or not? How you feel, good brother? Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. We still can't hear him.
Oh, I thought it was just me.
We still can't hear you, good brother.
Hey, okay, can you hear me now, bro?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now? Okay, for sure. Yeah, retail is here, and I seen one thing about Bitcoin, and somebody comparing it to like owning land as it being that valuable, and like the whole transition, like everybody knows, bro. So whether they buying or not, are they still speculating? Like they don't even have a strategy, so they don't know where to start at. You feel me? All they hear is Bitcoin, 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 and that's just being force fed down their throats. But they are here. They've been here since last year. You know, even when they was hosting like those crypto what is it, like events, hosting crypto events, it was companies that were getting in and just trying it out, right? Whether they put it on a spreadsheet to buy or not buy, they were just watching the market. So man, we finna go parabolic, bro.
to be fair, to on EA's point, the Google Trends does show that retail did skyrocket in 2024 to 2021 highs, and also about a month ago we had a high uptick on the altcoin on Google Trends. So,
Not only
uh,
that,
you know,
you got my fault. Go ahead.
not retail been in and out, but there has been times where that trend has been very high.
We also get into a point where you can't always tell where they're here because of the apps.
Yeah.
Robinhood is one of the big ones. Robinhood will always be a big competitor to Coinbase as of right now. Robinhood act when they made Dogecoin available, that made Dogecoin run a little bit more because now you still got the retail users that don't know how to use Web3 app dApps and things like that. So that's your MetaMask, your Rabby wallet, things like that, where they don't need to actually control their keys. They could just use it on, even though Robinhood get a bad rap for everybody else that know it, but the retail users that aren't really tech savvy, they like Robinhood. So they're going to be trading on Robinhood. That could be their Dogecoin, Ethereum, whatever they have listed there, they're going to be trading that. Same goes with Coinbase. And for like the download purposes, a lot of people already have Coinbase on their phone. So it's hard for you to tell how high the ranking is going to go when most people already have Coinbase on their app and they just on their phone and they just forget about it.
Speaking of Coinbase, I don't know if anybody on the panel is a consistent user of Coinbase, but they're supposed to be rolling out that integration between the actual Coinbase exchange and the app. Do you think that's something that could possibly onboard retail, or do you think that new rollout is a bit overhyped?
Hell no, it ain't hype. That only 1% of the users on Coinbase right now has access to that DEX, and it's a two
See, that's what I'm saying,
and
and
it's
this is
two and it's
why
two
I don't
billion.
believe retail is truly here. You kind of answered my question and confirmed it,
No,
there, brother.
no, actually, you're misunderstanding it. If only 1% of retail users have access to have access to the DEX, that means there's 99% of people that's not using it. It's not rolled out to the masses yet, and it already has a $2 billion in value. So imagine when that gets to 10%. That means that you, I, Connor, Crypto Princess, AOKG get access to that. Maybe 100% of people. That's that's pretty much all the retail users right there. That's how large. There's
That's bullish.
700,000 people on
That's
the waiting
bullish.
app, and it's probably even higher. It's probably even up to 1 million by now. So yeah, I'm always going to be bullish on Coinbase.
Right, right. No, I'm not like saying whether Coinbase is bullish or bearish. I'm just looking at that as a confirmation that retail truly isn't here. Like
But
you know,
yeah, that
I don't know if you actually track the app rankings, but you can track them. You know what I mean? And usually when mass FOMO is here, those apps are top five,
I'm gonna tell you two things.
in all of apps, not
That's
just
what I said
finance.
previous though. That's what I just said previous. Most people already have Coinbase on their phone. They forgot about it. So the downloads is not going to be as like credible as it was before. As before, it was new users actually downloading it. Now it probably gone down a lot because a lot of people already have it on their phone, just like Robinhood is on like most people's phones. And then Coinbase just go down like a few days ago. That's another indicator that they're here, or at least on Coinbase.
Facts, facts,
My
facts.
argument to that, or not even argument, I would say that retail, in that sense, they definitely will likely be coming over to base a little bit more, at least with the integration. I think it's very
Agreed.
bullish. I do think it is fairly overhyped though at the moment, even though it's overhyped for a reason. Oh, my fault.
Crypto Prince says, "Hey, yo, KG, you got anything on Coinbase? Or y'all not into Coinbase?"
Um, I like. uh, it's okay. It's okay. You know, I'm more of a DJ now. You know, you rubbed off on me. So, um, when it comes to Coinbase, there's just so much stuff going on in the market, bro. Like Solana got so much built. They, like you said, they got bags. We got Bonk. We got Pump Fund. Post Chain. Like, bro, it's money off these, centralized networks that I'm moving on. So I'm liking it. It's nothing wrong with Coinbase. Like when you first get started, you like, man, what do I buy crypto? let me download Coinbase. And so that's when you get to open up your world. So yeah, Coinbase is a great place to uh, start investing in until you like really want those gains, you know. Or if you like Connor or EA, you know what I'm saying? Like you can really explain it to your fan base and show them the way, you know, walk them through it.
I've got nothing against Coinbase. I actually think the app, I have had the app in the past, I don't have it now. And I do think it's beneficial for a lot of retail. Coinbase, crypto.com, etc. They loaded, or sorry, through them, a lot of people do have access to crypto.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the trenches a lot. I think that this landscape is a little bit different when we kind of like the definition of retail actually being here, because you can look at it two ways. You can look at a lot of activity goes on chain, or you can look at it as just a global percentage that actually actively communicates with crypto, right? And we're still at that point of infancy where we don't have what 5-7% of the world actually use crypto. So I guess I'm looking at it from a long-term perspective, but just looking at the charts, right? Because I was just looking at the charts, right? And we had 2 days ago we had Bitcoin, we had Ethereum kind of like hanging around all-time highs. Uh Whether retail is here or not, do you guys feel like we are at that point where we can kind of like say this is like near the top, or do you think that we're going higher from here, right? Bitcoin, ETH at all time highs. We're one step closer to going high. What's your opinion on that?
For me, bro, if it's millionaires getting in, you know, like Crypto Princess was talking about, this is a new floor. You know, think about
I
Michael
love.
Saylor and how he bought Bitcoin. Now that's finna happen with Ethereum. So, like, if you're not on board, you're not on board. And then once again, Solana. At one point in time, the price was like $700 a token. Right now, it's like hovering between like what 120, 150, 170. So they got to get those investors' funds back up, bro, where it initially started, right? So,
We've seen a
hey,
lot
man,
more treasury companies for sure, and not just Bitcoin and
yeah,
ETH. I mean, Solana has treasury company interest. Bittensor has three treasury companies. BNB has treasury companies. So you can't fade that smart money and that institutional interest. We did get horrible PPI. I want to get to this comment here by Crypto Playground. He says when people are worried about food prices, they aren't going to gamble.
Yeah, I
true,
know
true.
that is
Yeah,
true,
very
but
true.
there's different parts in crypto. There's gambling and there's, to me, not gambling. Bitcoin is not gambling
Or
anymore. If you have a long-term mindset, if you have a short-term mindset, everything is gambling, if that makes sense. And in fact, if you have a very short-term mindset, you're either a trader or you shouldn't even be in crypto. For example, how many people say Michael Saylor, all he does is buy the top? Sorry, I was going to say a bad word because it kind of really, really, really annoys me. Michael Saylor has a long term mindset. I have a long term mindset when it comes to Bitcoin, etc. I'm keeping it for my great great grandchildren. Michael Saylor says that he's going to burn his seed phrases, and that's his legacy that he's going to leave for mankind. His company's strategy, they're going to hold for at least 100 years. The Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, at least 20 years. And then obviously that can only be used to pay off America's debt as it stands at the moment. So there's two parts of this. There's one, gambling, which are meme coins, and even a lot of utility coins as well. Last bear market in 2022, what did we have? We had a lot of fundamentally strong, obviously they were not fundamental, but they seemed fundamentally strong projects that went to zero almost overnight. We had FTX, we had Luna, we had 3 Hours Capital, we had
Ooh,
BlockFi, all the rest
ooh.
of it. So you have two things. You have gambling, which
I
is
remember
meme
that.
coins, and then you have things that are not gambling. Now, if I was retail, and I've done a number of live streams regarding this, when you look at other assets and you look at Bitcoin, you will see that Bitcoin has been the best performing asset, perhaps in the history of
Generational.
mankind, well, mankind even. So yeah, so it depends what people want. If they still have, and it took me, bearing in mind, 3 years, if not, I might even still have it. I have to always check myself. It took me a long time to get rid of that get quick rich mindset, even though I was reading books and I was educating myself. So it depends why you're in crypto. If you're here for gambling, then yeah, you're going to need stimulus checks. You're going to need to see. So you're going to have to plan your finances. If you're here for the long term, you're here for your own retirement, bearing in mind you will very easily be able to retire on one Bitcoin.
Nah, but I need to know this, right? Because like there's this the elephant in the room here, right? It's that the economy is bad. People don't got money to invest. But you
They
know,
shouldn't
we're
be in
Like,
crypto,
bro,
if I'm
no, no, no,
completely
no, no, no,
honest.
no,
They're
no,
going to
no.
get burned.
Hear me out. Hear me out. This is to EA, right? Because I want
Oh,
to get EA involved in this, right?
Huh?
You know what
Huh?
I'm saying? I want to get you
What's going on
involved in
here?
this, right? Because it's like we're saying retail is here, but in the same sentence, we're like, well, the economy has been kind of trashed the last couple of years, and people really had money to do it. But then we had these bubbles where it was like crypto did really really well. So, like you're right, it's hard to say. It's hard to even look at stats and be like they're here or they're not here. But I mean, you seen one of the comments, the guy was like, people worried about food, are they going to gamble on crypto?
well, you have my view, and that's if you shouldn't even be in crypto if you can't pay for food.
I wish I could hit some of the sound effects there.
So,
What y'all
so,
got
so
on this?
look. If you can't pay for food, man, you gotta grind, bro. All right, there is no giving up. Don't miss out on this trip, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is the point of time where you can make life changing gains. It's always a way. I don't care if it's $20 a week. Like, try, bro. Just grab you some soul, cause like, and then like Michael said was saying he burning Bitcoin. It's crazy. That's beyond me, bro. Like you could do so much more with that Bitcoin besides burn it. And to me, once Bitcoin get to a certain point, why would a millionaire or a billionaire even buy it at that point when there are other assets to invest in? You know,
Look, look,
and,
look.
and
I gotta ask y'all this, not to cut you off, AOKG. Right
yeah,
now, today, in crypto, this ecosystem, this space, is it hard to onboard normies, to onboard new people?
no, no, it's not,
No.
bro. It's a simple conversation. You know what I'm saying? And like I've gotten so many people. It's a lot of people that are truckers that I work with. You know, on a daily basis that come and go. So when I have time to talk to them, they ask me questions. And they like, man, you really got me pumped. Like, bro, you really got me motivated. And I'll be like, look, bro, just spend $5. Just spend $10. And it opens up their eyes when they actually get to see the price going up and down. Whether it's XRP, whether it's Base, whether it's Sol, whether it's Sui. What else is another popular chain coming up? ICP, something. It's always significance. And people do understand, bro. That's why I say you like, man. Yeah. That's my point there. It's not hard, bro. It's not hard. Everybody's interested in it. Everybody want a piece of the action. It's like a horde, or the game of popularity. At some point in time, they want to get in. They want to make money. Everybody wants to make money. So once they finally on board and try it, bro, it's the sky's the limit.
Connor, EA, how's y'all experience been with onboarding people outside of your crypto community? Your family members, your friends?
Yo, at least that's a good question. I mean, in my personal experience, to me, people that I talk to, um, family, friends, and even just a lot of people, if I'm out, things like that, it seems like it is still like I'm very much so the only one that even knows what crypto is.
Mhm.
That's just my own experience, though. And I know for a lot of people that's completely different, but it seems very barren still in many ways for me. Could be just where I am too, but yeah, onboarding people has been, I would still say difficult because I've tried onboarding personal friends, but it is just, I think the risk, the volatility, it kind of throws personally some of my friends away from wanting to really go at it. So I'd say it's actually been difficult in person, but like I said, I know it's different for everybody.
Few things for me. I think his name is Pgaz. He says if people can't pay for food, what do? They try to gamble with the money that they do have. That's essentially what the memes is. Pretty much, you see people on TikTok just gambling with $5, $10, $20 on the lowest caps of memes, thousand market cap, hoping that it goes up to 100K or something, and they flip it that way. But onboarding wise, I really stopped trying to onboard at least my friends since like 2021 when they ain't listened to me. So I quit talking to them. My aunt came to me one time talking about she been buying memes. I left her on red. So I'm not here for too much onboarding people because they should know by now. Once you start seeing not Michael Saylor, BlackRock, Kathy Wood, all of these people already on here telling you what they're doing, and if you're not at least thinking to yourself, why is big money going into this? No,
Hmm.
nobody like me is gonna onboard you if you're not seeing the amount of money coming onto here and who's buying what. So
True, man. Um, and,
Be-
and you know, for me, I feel like they're gonna use Bitcoin as an asset to pump real estate and put those funds in there. So Bitcoin is gonna go, stupid crazy, bro. It's gonna go parabolic. And like even my uncle, bro, like he's well off in life, so he doesn't want it. He doesn't want crypto because of the risk. But if I could just get him to get in early, bro, like it'll be phenomenal for him, for all of us, because he got that bag. I need that. I need that family member to, hey, come in. Hey, buy this right here. This is gonna work. You feel me? That way, everybody good.
Yeah, I think in my experience, 2025, it still seems like you can talk to somebody and they still don't really know what crypto is. They might
Mhm.
have heard about it, they might have seen a commercial, but they
Hmm.
still trying to figure out like you especially not the younger people, right? But you'll still find these people that say, "Can I actually use it like cash? Can I actually buy something with it?" And it's like when you think about just that psychology of that, it's hopeful, right? It's hopeful that we can get more people in onboard, more people in crypto, but it's still cringe. The onboarding in person shit is still a little bit cringe. I don't know if crypto just got like a dark cloud over it, I don't know what it is, but it's still not like a smooth conversation as Connor was saying. It's like EA says, it's like I don't even want to try this no more.
it's also when that bear market hit and that thing goes down, your altcoins go down
Ooh.
Yeah.
90%. That's not easy for regular people to just be like, damn,
And
No.
I just seen a
right.
100,000 go to like 1K. That's
And that's
not
why.
that's not
That's
No,
easy for
that's
someone to stomach. Like
and
we talk about round tripping money here and not knowing the regular person that money that we might have round trip, that might have been their salary. And then they might feel some type of way towards crypto. Call it a scam, da da da. You know how it goes.
He
true.
sound
And,
like
yeah, 100%.
Aiden Ross was saying, right? Now
and
speaking of bullish or bearish, right? Because you just said the bear market. You scared me. You made me jump a little bit when you said the bear market. How do y'all see 2026? Will 2026 be a bullish year or a bearish year for risk assets?
2026. Without a shadow of a doubt, it will be the bear market. I believe so, because when you look at the 4 year cycle, and even though the 4 year cycle has deviated from the previous cycle, when you look at the previous cycle, every single cycle evolves and it develops. It's never entirely the same. So when you actually zoom out and you look at the years, you have a halving year, the Bitcoin supply, the amount of Bitcoins mined in a block, so you get less bitcoins per block. That's halved, so the reward is halved. You have the halving year. Then you have the parabolic bull year. What causes the parabolic bull year? It's the scarcity of the halving year. We go up in the parabolic bull year, we hit a mania phase, and I'm obviously you all know this, and it cannot be sustained. We then naturally go into a bear market. The bear market, after the bear market, where all the bad actors like the ones that I mentioned in 2022, where they fail, or most of them fail. We have a recovery year and it repeats. Now, I do understand, and I completely understand that every single cycle evolves and every single cycle develops. However, when you also bear in mind that when you look at TradFi, you look at the economy and all the rest of it, we traditionally have, for the last 100 odd years, a recession every 10 odd years. We had the cracks of the recession in late 2019, 2020, but the pandemic hit, and we printed a huge amount of money. What was it? 7 trillion US dollars. We don't print trillions. It's always been billions. We don't print trillions. Now, when you look at the the cracks are getting bigger. The can has been kicked down the road. All the rest of it, it's only a matter of time before we do see something similar to or a recession similar to the end of the 4-year cycle, the bear market, if that makes sense. What it's going to look like, I'm not entirely sure. One thing that I will say is that every 4 years, when we have had a bear market or the whole cycle, Bitcoin has never fallen below the price that it has been on election day, which was something like 67 odd thousand US dollars this time around. So I do not believe it will fall underneath that level. Now,
Good point.
when we
Not
look,
to interrupt. That was.
I'm so sorry.
You was
When we
cooking
look
just
at,
now. My bad. You was cooking.
when
My
we,
bad.
Cooking.
I love it when you say cooking, because I still don't get. Okay, and when we look at the last cycle, we went from 69,000 US dollars to 15,000 US dollars. That's a massive drop. When we were in the bull market, nobody could have imagined we went down to 15,000 US dollars. This cycle, God knows where we're going to end up. We will have more of a base, because when we've got a lot more countries, we've got a lot more institutions coming up, they will hold a baseline. We might not dip as deep as we normally do, but we will dip. Oh, and somebody agrees with me.
All right, 2026, man. Anybody else?
Yo, I have to say, I actually very much so agree with that. I'm playing this exactly like previous cycles, time frame wise. That's where I'm aligned with it. If things do change as time goes on, I'm very much so open to it, but I'm 100% in the camp that 2026, probably by Q2, maybe end of Q2 to Q3, Q4, I think are going to be very bearish. But like I said, I think if things show signs that it might be different in some sort of way, day in, day out, I'll easily change my thesis, my thoughts about it. But for right now, that's how I'm playing it.
I've been here saying I think we're definitely still following the 4-year cycle, but I'll play devil's advocate for this one time here. Basically, I was looking at the chart for the periods of when to make money. The last period you had to make the most money was 2019, right? That was like the big shot. You had 2016, 2019. Now we're going into 2026, where it's actually one of the periods you can make some money, but it's not like the biggest period to make the money. So there's a possibility that if that goes through, it goes with what Connor is saying by like Q2, maybe we'll be in that bear market, or it'll just be the whole 2026. It just depends on how you look at it. But like I said, I'm already taking my money out by October. I'm standing on that 10 toes, and I'll figure out what's going to happen from October and so on and so forth.
Just very quickly, EA, some of the OGs that I know are already out of the market.
Yeah, they front running.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen a lot of them out disappearing. Done.
A lot of people are front running the thesis of October, November, at least Q4.
Hey, yo, KG, super cycle, what we on, man? It's 2026 is just gonna be all bad, doom and gloom.
Conviction play, man. I'm still buying. I'm not stopping, bro. Ain't no stopping. You know what I'm saying? I put in overtime last week, got me a bag yesterday, got me a bag last night, bought me a bag this morning. I do not care. Okay? I want more.
I did buy some base plays on this dip, chat. So I did do a little bit buying yesterday, and did, well, yesterday I did a little bit of buying as I was telling my live stream. So speaking of, just to keep it all, where we're at right now as far as this conversation, where are we at on the psychologically of the market cycle right here, the Wall Street cheat sheet, man, or the most famous chart in crypto history.
Well, we haven't hit the mania phase yet. That's what I'm waiting for.
So what you would say? What's that?
I
We in
can't see it because
belief, optimism.
I think we're
Euphoria.
quite clear. Sorry, yeah, the
Hold on.
euphoria
Let me
and the
pull it
mania
up for
phase,
you.
both of these haven't been hit. And I do apologize. Hang on.
Let me see if I can pull it up for you 1 second. Can you see it a little bit better now?
So basically, what happens is that there's always been a euphoria phase right at the end, and it's short-lived. It's just a couple of weeks, if that makes sense. We are close to that euphoria phase. November, I'm out, and I don't care what my bags are like. When I say I'm out of my altcoin bag, my Bitcoin bag, long-term mindset. I don't care if it dips.
Already. So when it comes to your Bitcoin bag, okay, you got conviction in that. Do you have any conviction for like Ethereum?
I'm out of all my altcoins, if I'm completely honest. I don't think Ethereum's dead, bearing in mind how many times was Bitcoin called dead? Dead. There's something called the Lindy effect. What that is if it's a theory. If a technology has gone over 10 years, it's more than likely to last, if that makes sense. Ethereum 2013 was the white paper, 2014 was the ICO, 2015 it was created, all the rest of it. It's now 2025. It's been 10 years. And we all know Bitcoin was classed dead a trillion times.
I think ETH is here to stay. I'm
Yep.
seeing too much institutional
Yeah.
interest, kind of like it's just too much, right? At this point, I think Ethereum is here to stay.
Yes, ETH is here to stay. That's the institutional layer. And for the market cycle, I think we're either at optimism or belief. Most likely belief. And that means
I
that you
like
don't got long left.
I like that. Yeah, man, you got to tell the you got to tell the Moon Boys, man, that ETH came from 900 and Bitcoin came from 15K. A lot of people forget that.
Or what you could say for extra punch is 16 years ago, you could buy multiple Bitcoins for $1. It was worthless, absolutely worthless. And today, each coin is over 100,000. So where would it be
Think of.
in another 15 years? The hardest thing to do in crypto is actually hold Bitcoin. That is it. But where would Bitcoin be in another 15 years? If you can hold for 15 years, your children, they're going to have a statue of you.
We're seeing some altcoins get some ETFs, man. It was kind of unfortunate. A Solana ETF did get delayed, so I don't know. You can look at that as bearish as bullish, depending on your perspective of crypto. But I think it will at some point get approved. Solana has institutional interest as well. But I don't know, man. 2026 is going to be crazy, right? Because from a macro point of view, and you look at all these cycles, it does say 2026 could be a bearish year. But when you look at the uncharted territory that we're in as far as crypto, how we got these laws that are being tailored around crypto, we got all of these companies, BlackRock, like EA was saying, that's just fostering capital into crypto. And then it's like, okay, we get into 2026. We got all this tokenization going on, like Pump Fund, Zora. Like, how will crypto look in 2 to 3 years because of all of this tokenization? Like, everything is being tokenized. Everybody has creator coins right now. Like where are we headed? Where are we headed with this? Like, how will crypto look in 2 to 3 years because of what's happening?
It's like the futuristic version of gaming, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can live stream. You can get creator credits and reward your community. You know, those reflection tokens. It's looking real awesome right now, bro. I'm very, very happy with it. You know, I can't wait to get into the scene of it. So that's my look at it. You know, I don't know if Connor got anything to say about it.
I think
You
like
know,
anybody that's like trading like on that Degen, like you'll always have an opportunity in crypto, right? If you are on
it's
chain, like Connor name, like if you are on chain, you're always gonna run into something. But as a hodler, as an investor, as a person that may have a mindset like Crypto Princess, like I don't know, man. It gotta be because you got these people out here that saying altcoin season never happened, and they hella fucking frustrated, right? It's like a split. Like, which way do we go? Do we degen? Do we stay holders? Like, how is this gonna look in the next 2 to 3 years? It's gonna be crazy.
Just very
Yeah.
quickly, I am a Bitcoin maxi. I do also hold an altcoin bag because I believe in the technology behind cryptocurrency. Now, if we look at last cycle, something like Dash. Now, Dash can be used as a payment. It's a payments method, quite frankly. Sorry, yeah. Was it last cycle or the cycle before? I can't remember. It went from $6 to $1,000. It made much more gains than Bitcoin. So I do believe in altcoins as well, and I do believe in the projects and the technology behind it. And I think moving forwards, we're just going to get even better projects, and things are going to be more exciting in this space.
EA, Connor, how y'all feel about all this tokenization, man?
Yeah, it does.
And how crypto could look in the next 2 to 3 years for hodlers, degens, people on chain.
Um, I'm not gonna lie, probably the opposite take of what's going on here, but I think it's all gonna be the same thing. I think, especially for any sort of launch pads tokenization, I think it's all gonna go down very hard. Again, I just think because 2026, I think we're gonna play another similar bear market, but it seems like any sort of new tech, whether tokenization of anything, and just a lot of altcoins, of course, in last cycles, they'll go up when it's hype. But once the house of cards starts collapsing, we get some sort of top. Whether it is sooner than later or if it's at the end of the year. I think regardless of the platforms, tokens, utility, things are just going to be dropping at some point. But within crypto, you got to play the game until the game is up. That's how I look at it. It might be a like bearish mindset with it, but that's how I'm looking at it.
I don't think it's bearish. I think it's realistic, in my opinion. Like these are realistic opinions from you guys. But I know for sure. I see EA in the bear market still making content. Connor, we were all still in the bear market making content. So at some point, my thinking is, there still were opportunities there. Now, if anybody ran
Oh
into
yeah,
them, who knows? But we still were here in the bear market making content.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, I agree with Connor. I also believe that as the time goes on, as more regulation hits, it's going to be harder to become more of a degen because most of these platforms going to have to abide by the rules that is going to be set from different countries and things like that. So who knows what's going to happen, but I do believe it's going to definitely be a lot harder to just pump out meme coins and things like that in the future, just like ICOs, IDOs, private sales. If you guys, I'm in a lot of them, it's not going to be easy for the normal person to join a VC group or get connections to a VC group to actually get into these new upcoming projects. And I think that's when crypto is more solidified than before. It's when they actually make the rules and make it harder for the normal person to get into the space.
True, true.
Yeah, man. I can't. I'm interested to see, how a bear market looks, in this, in 20 if we get it in 2026, but also what the hell you guys going to be talking about when we get to the bear market? I'm actually intrigued. So AOKG, your thoughts on this?
when the bear market comes, shoot, stack up, bro. You're gonna see the most gains, buying at the bottom. Wait for that 80% dip, 98% dip. You feel me? Wait till we trading sideways. Like Millie always say, hey, if we trading sideways, that's the new floor. So give it about 30 days, and then go in just a little bit, see if it dips, see if it go up 8, 10% on the charts, and buy more, bro.
I remember. I think we went down a little bit longer than 30 days, good brother. We was, you know what I'm saying, when that
Yeah.
FTX hit, that Celsius,
Nah,
Elon sold
that
all
was a
his
year,
Bitcoin.
yeah,
God
bro.
damn,
That was
boy.
a year and 3 months, bro.
Bro, it was like an avalanche out this joint. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was falling off. Bad
Yeah,
apples was going. They was coming to pick them up, like EA said. They coming to make new laws.
facts.
Do Kwon, all them, they up out of here.
Man, I,
But
I
their
started
market
to
was
lose
ugly.
conviction myself, bro. I was like, how long? Like, that was the point where I just got into crypto and I'd never seen a bull run. So I'm like, when? That's the point I was like, when? But we might be in the final boss phase. You never know. But yeah, on that dip, don't get scared, chat. Don't buy high. Don't be going all in on Ethereum now. It's too late.
Look, is Elon Musk Grok Imagine in GTA the only narrative that can save gaming in 2026? Will we
Hey,
see the gaming bubble save crypto?
hey.
Out of nowhere, Elon gonna drop the gaming where you don't need no coding experience. You just can code some shit with
Right.
AI, make a game. Then we got GTA coming out. Is gaming the only bubble that could be safe in
Yeah.
2026?
Yeah, yeah. And then 2K, they got it to where the WNBA can play with the NBA, the men's NBA, which is crazy. So that's another,
How you throw that in
segment
as a
right there.
catalyst?
I don't know. It would be a good feed. Let me just get that in there. Let me all my 2K boys. I'm sorry.
Nah, but yeah, man. So I guess everybody could agree that take your profits this leg up because there is a possibility that we can head into a bear market, right? That's realistic. That don't take it personal. Anybody that's out there, everybody over here, we just transparent, honest, realistic, and practice good risk management. Outside of that, weekend, man. Y'all think will the rally continue going into the weekend, or is this it? We got the weekend coming up. Does Ethereum, Bitcoin continue throughout the weekend, and we start to see that rally continue?
I feel like after usually like the bearish news happens, give it a few days or so. If there's no news coming up like in the recent times, we see a little rally until the next period of news comes around, and it's usually a weekend. So don't trust the pumps on the weekend, but it's always good to see.
We
Yeah.
got that news. The 21st, 23rd, we got Fed talking at Jackson.
Yeah, so that could be a way to trap the bulls to see where we might have a little run up, and then right before the talk, there's a dump. You know how it gets very volatile during this time, during this whole meetings and things like that. So
Trade safe.
I'll be waiting
Crypto
on your
Princess,
live
you was
stream.
about to say something? Oh, shit.
I can't remember what I was going to say. I was going to say something about the weekend. Nevertheless, normally what we do find, because obviously I'm day trading as well, is just generally it's nothing set in stone when it comes to weekends. But have you noticed if you have a green weekend, you often have a red Monday, and if you have a red weekend, it's a green Monday when institutions start up, and then also normally it happens on the same, whatever happened on a Monday happens on a Thursday. I'm trying to get all of these things done. I actually don't have time to day trade, so I'm actually looking into trading bots. So when the bear market comes, I will be by then. Because I'm looking into getting them now, having trading bots and getting into mining. But you need to be very careful with mining. Oh, and that's my best friend in crypto, by the way, Rambo.
Oh, W's for Rambo Wolf Hat. Let's give him some W's. Chat, anything y'all got, let us know inside the comments. As you know, we go an hour coming up to the end of the show. So flood the comments. Let me know if you got any questions. But outside of that, man, yeah, we'll just continue to monitor the market. I guess everybody's still in the same type of mindset that they were in last week about this, part of the cycle, but I just hope we get that run up that everybody wants to see, man, and that FOMO comes into the
But
market.
also,
So,
the other thing is, with this recent
Yeah.
dump that we've had, who shorts a bull market? Like, some of these traders are like dum-dums. Just saying. I
Yeah,
used to
it's
be really patient. I used to be really nice, but then you get to a point where you have so many. I think, Millie, I think you've got to that point as well, where you're just like, oh man, this is so dumb. Like, who shot the
oh, you
gun
see how
here?
oh the trolls? Oh, I don't got time for the trolls, man. The trolls, I don't play with the trolls. Hell nah,
I love them. I love them.
Hey man,
you
leave them
know,
trolls alone, man. They vicious, man. They
it just
I'm in a
depends on
group.
what trolls,
It's
right? You
the
got to know
cult.
what
Hey,
community to like respond to trolls because some communities they'll come try to cancel you,
oh,
and you got to stay away from
don't mess with them. Let them
Yeah,
have it. I'm
that's
telling you.
very true.
Let them have it, bro. They don't sleep. They don't stop. They pop out memes in the chat 24/7, like on some artistic stuff. Like leave them alone. I'm telling you.
yeah.
I always used to be like, oh my God, I always respect everyone's opinion in crypto because the market can humble you so much. But it's when some people come at you, especially these communities, and they think that they know everything. I wish I was more like you, AE. Sorry, EA. I wish I was more like you. I wish I had more of a thick skin. And I'm developing it. So, yeah.
Yeah. You need thick skin to be on the internet. Listen, this internet ain't no game. I remember Call of Duty back in the day. If you was on the mic, man, you sounded a little black. Listen, from there it developed. You know, you could block them. You could block them. Do whatever. I usually just respond and laugh. It's all it is engagement at the end of the day, especially when you're a content creator.
Yeah, you gotta. From what I've learned is you just gotta don't care what people say. Like fuck it, I'm gonna just hit the send button and whatever people say, they say whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you just let that shit. You just let that shit ride. I think this comment is for you, Crypto Princess from Jumper. It says, will mining cost spike to 1 million in energy cost by 2030 per Bitcoin?
Okay, so basically, with mining, or actually with Bitcoin as a whole, oh my God, we are like literally so early. So with Bitcoin, we will have 32 halvings in Bitcoin until the halvings finish. And then from there, Bitcoin will be run on fees, transaction fees. We're only at the halving number 4. So we are so early. With Bitcoin, the thing that actually increases its price, and we have it every halving, is the block size awards. Block size awards. We started off with I think it was 25 per block size, and then we went down to 12, and then we went down to 6. Now we're at 3, then we're going to be at 2.5, etc. So yeah, this is what actually happens, and this is what has led into this bull run. It doesn't matter who the president is. Last administration, we had a very anti-crypto president. They've all been all anti-crypto. Doesn't matter. Bitcoin's here. Bitcoin will survive because of the genius, absolute genius of the halving. But price predictions, I honestly cannot say because they just like.
It's cool. You don't gotta get no price prediction. I got a hold on. I got a question for Connor in EA about the base ecosystem. So as you know, we are headed like Ethereum is headed to like all time highs and stuff like that. But I want to know from you guys, do you think ETH when it hits price discovery and goes on its run or whatever, do you think that run is going to benefit Ethereum coins more, or would you lean towards it benefiting base coins more?
Ooh, yeah, EA, you can go first, bro.
Good question. If when Ethereum passes all time high,
Yes, sir.
huh? I'm already a base. It seems like I'm a base maxi, so I'm gonna just stick with my base guys. Everything so far in the base ecosystem has been running even before Ethereum has even hit its all-time high. So you're looking at things like Zora, you're looking at BankerBot, you're looking at Edge, you're looking at so many altcoins on a base ecosystem that just been taken off just because they've been so underpriced for so long that now if you want to put it as Ethereum breaking its all-time high, it's already in. We're already saying that the DEX is going to roll out onto Coinbase and things like that. So the more users that come onto Coinbase, like you guys were saying, there's not the retailers here. Guess who they got access to first? They got access to base most of the base altcoins, because if you're going to be looking at the Ethereum is on or Coinbase itself, Coinbase have selected altcoins that they have on their platform, where now they're going to be including pretty much all the base ecosystem altcoins. So if you guys are saying that retail users aren't here and they're going to be coming, they're going to be exposed to a lot more base altcoins than before, meaning there's a possibility that we're going to see one of them go to like maybe 5 billion. My bet is that's going to be Zora. That's it.
Yeah, so you would do you find like the base ecosystem or base coin, should I say, like are more attractive to normies than Ethereum coins? Is because the fees, right? The fees are cheaper, or
Yeah,
does that
but
matter?
no, yeah, mainly because the fees are cheaper,
Okay, okay,
but also it's because of the exposure that they're going to have on Coinbase.
okay.
Most of Ethereum altcoins aren't going to be on Coinbase unless they're the selected ones that get listed on the actual Coinbase platform, not through Base and the DEX integration. So they're going to have more exposure to a lot of these base altcoins from Edge, BankerBot. I don't even know what else. There's so many base altcoins, especially that they've been underpriced for so long and just cheap that a lot of people are just going to want to probably trade them.
All right.
Yeah, facts. No, yo, I totally agree with that. I think, yeah, base is going to go crazy. I actually think both, though. But the thing is, I think it's going to be at different times because, what I've seen, because, I used to, or not used to, but I'd like to trade ETH mainnet, base, and Solana. And it seems like in the past, when ETH decides to pump and really, go on a run, I think especially with like ETH mainnet coins, rather, I'd say less so on base. It seems like it's just narratives. So it's like once ETH pumps and the market kind of decides a narrative, I think tokens within that narrative, if they've been building for a long time, like let's say AI or RWA, I don't think it's just going to be any single coin on ETH. It's just going to be coins that are building in a specific narrative that finally picks up. So I think it's just when price really does go up like that, a narrative just appears out of nowhere. It's and people start flocking into something.
Agreed.
So that's how I'm looking at it for ETH mainnet. But and like I said, base two, same thing. I think the base eco itself is just going to be its own narrative at the same time too. But I think we'll see different narratives run at different times. But I think both are going to move at some point.
Yeah. Yesterday, that's what I was doing. I was actually buying base coins and Ethereum coins. So I was adding exposure to
Yeah,
some of my utility tokens that I have on Ethereum. And like you said, Connor, kind of revisiting those charts that's down 60, 70%, but team is still building, community is still active,
yeah.
still posting. You feel me? You already know, may be listed on a couple exchanges, maybe not, but
Low
really,
key,
go ahead, EA.
you're going to have Alex Becker shilling. Most of his shills are ETH mainnet altcoins. Like
I
G,
hold most of them.
like GAI, it's been going crazy right now, and I think that's on ETH. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir. Look, he got the whole. Hey, EA, we gotta chop it up about that, bro. We got the whole wealth group on the line, bro. I know exactly what time it is when Crypto Jack and the boys get into them ETH coins, bro. Like it's literally in chat. If you out there, like we talk about this all the time, like being able to network in crypto, get into good Telegram groups, Patrons, whatever that may be. But if you get into a lot of these good Ethereum coins before somebody like Alex Becker talks about it on his channel, because they buy before they talk about it. They
Mhm.
load up and then they bring it to their YouTube channel.
Boy, that has a lot of people upset because this actually was a sorry to cut you off, sorry,
Now
but
you
this
good.
was a discussion in the Discord that I had. People are mad that usually content creators they talk about their altcoins after it goes up, and after it goes up, obviously there's not too much they see in like the short term, so they might get like a 5% gain if they're lucky, 50% gain, maybe even more lucky or 100% gain, right? And then they get mad at the content creators because they brought these plays onto their channels so late. What do you feel about that? Do you feel like content creators, once they call out their plays in their Discord group, they should automatically post it on YouTube?
They're never going to do that.
Hmm.
That's why I
Man,
don't. That's why I don't
it's
call
bro.
coins apart from Bitcoin.
Yeah, I stopped kind of like, I've said this on my live stream. Like I said it yesterday. I bought coins, but hey, I'm not telling you what coins, right? But I mean, it's a thin line, right? Because as a content creator, creating a private group gives you access to monetization, right? And capital, right? And you got to deliver something that's exclusive for your private group. I think the gray area comes where if you talk about this token to your private group first, and then you wait a couple weeks and bring it to your YouTube channel, right? So it's yeah, I don't You know what I mean? For Alex Becker though, it's a little different because he has a massive channel. So I don't know. I think him and Miles take the most flack for that shit, bro. Miles takes a lot of flack for that as well.
They definitely do. It was just a little discussion because I feel. Go ahead, Connor.
No, I was just kind of agreeing. Yes, that's a tough one too, because I feel like even for me too, I'm kind of the same way. Like ever since I started my personal group, same thing. It's like I will do heavy research, just relaying all my research, and if I find something, we're calling it. But even for me too, especially like on my channel, I like to show people, even if there's a coin, maybe we got in, or we called for a while, but it's still at like a good entry, things like that. That's something I always like to revisit, give people publicly too the same opportunity at times. But that's I feel like with every YouTuber, every content creator, it could be different. But yeah, I think that's kind
I
of
mean,
my
to be fair, I don't shill coins and I don't have an issue with content creators who do that. They spend hours and hours researching these coins. They put their name on the line and all the
That's
rest of
facts,
it.
man.
Um, but saying that, the only content creators that I do have an issue with are the ones who do pump and dump. So they will buy
yeah.
the coin, they'll shill it, and then they'll
And
sell their
then
back.
sell it.
That's
That's the
fair.
thing
That's
But
right
fair.
other
there.
than that,
I
other
think
than
that's when it becomes unethical, right? You make a video and then you sell exactly after the freaking video. That's some
Other
bullshit,
than
man.
that, I do think that that's absolutely fine for them because they have spent, you do not understand. They spent hours and hours. They put their name out there. This is like a big thing for them. So other than that, I personally don't have an issue with it.
Yeah, I
But then
don't.
again, I don't, apart from Bitcoin, I don't shill anything.
EA, I want that to in because you kind of like a little bit more in depth with it because you get into like the private sales and stuff like that. Do you find like finding that balance kind of hard? Like, how do you deal with it?
Well, for me, I feel like for my channel specifically, it's hard for you to pinpoint too many altcoins on my name because of how many altcoins I do review on the channel. I always stated that I wanted my channel to be more like a stepping stone, like where somewhere you start to do your research for the altcoins you want to buy. So like I'll talk about crypto A today, crypto Z next week, right? So I'll go down the whole line and whatever I like, I'm just reviewing it. It may be a play that I already got into with the Discord group, which I usually just leave there and until I feel like I'm comfortable enough to actually talk about it, then I'll make the video. But I still don't even tell you that I own it just to keep it as loose as possible where I'm not trying to persuade you to buy my bags unless I'm trying to get you into my Patreon group, of course, because that's where all the plays is going to pretty much be shown from, like agents, Zora, things like that. But overall, my channel, I just want to use it as like a place people can come on to and just review, start their review process for a specific altcoin that they may like or that just may be hot at the moment.
Hey yo, how you navigate across your groups and find alpha and things of that sort?
I be in the trenches with the degens and the devs, my boy. You know what I'm saying? So
The
when I'm on,
devs.
yeah, the devs, the devs. No,
You
I
got the
know.
plug, don't you, bro? He said the
Yes, bro.
devs.
Yes, with the devs. So, meeting people like you, Millie, EA, Connor, and just seeing what's going on and who gravitate to y'all. And then right there, that's the plug. It's the plug. You get to bridge that gap with whoever's creating whatever they're creating. And then sometimes they hop in my DMs, you know what I'm saying? Like all those little my lady characters and stuff like that. Y'all gotta be careful though. Y'all gotta be careful, okay? It's not all dandelions and roses, all right? So they hit me up, they add me to groups and post chain, that like it's a cult. So just me being in it and liking and retweeting, or sometimes I'll troll with a funny comment, and I'm always like just active. I get in good. You feel me?
That's why we call it Hall of Fame crypto, y'all. Y'all get the alpha here first. You feel me? Everybody, does
Yeah.
things a different way on this show, but does it in an ethical way. So I appreciate everybody's honesty, transparency,
Yeah.
and just how they navigate across crypto. Because we all got different opinions, but at the end of the day, I think everybody on this panel wants to do things the right way. So definitely appreciate that.
Yes, of course, bro. I appreciate the opportunity, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
Get you off the goddamn screen. He appreciate that. All right. Any closing thoughts for the panel? I know it's Friday. Y'all about to go touch grass. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the weekend. What we on going into next week, man? How's it looking?
I was just going to say, just before we do go to next weekend, I do have a crypto story dropping today. I normally don't drop them on Fridays, they're normally dropped on Tuesdays. And this is a man called Toka. He's very well known in the cryptocurrency space. He washed his paper wallet, he was into mining, he's lost 50 Bitcoin. He sold 40,000 Bitcoin, 14,000 Bitcoin. And he also was, the mob tried to kill him because the Albanian mob tried to kill him because he exposed them. So if you do want to see that crypto interview, do go over to my channel. It's going to start in about 15 minutes.
She working today. Go ahead, drop y'all promos, man. Connor, EA, hey yo, hit up, drop the promos, man. We gotta get up out of here. She got a interview to be at.
hey man, you know me. I'm just in the shadows, bro. I'm just chilling. I hit you up, you know what I'm saying? When I be like, I just want to talk to Millie. It's a rainy day. You feel me?
You must be in the trenches today.
Yeah, I'll be in the trenches. I already got my token, so I'm good. I own 6% of this one token. You feel me? On Soul. So we're gonna see how that go, man. Cause the community, they're doubting it. But they don't know it's a bag. They don't know it's a bag, bro. So I'm gonna just wait till it pumps, and I'm gonna receive my rewards and ride it
You
out.
would be the one to shield something. EA, Connor, closing thoughts, man.
I mean, yeah, I don't really have too much to say as of right now. I think things are still looking really good. I'm mainly literally watching ETH and Bitcoin at the moment, even Sol. Trends look good, charts look good, things look very good as far as momentum too for like ETH right now. And as long as it's going to hold, 43, 44, very short term, I think, we have a high likelihood to just continue this huge impulse for ETH and actually see it potentially try and break again into a new high. So I'm just watching the markets like that, or ETH, Bitcoin, Sol, just every day, and taking it, day by day like that right now. Lots of good dips right now too on stuff, on base specifically.
Yes,
Box some of
sir.
the dip, baby.
Connor said it perfectly, man. There's some dips on base right now. Keep an eye out for what's going on base.
I bought some too. I'm with you, EA.
Yeah, there's a lot going on base that you don't want to miss out on, from the base mini apps to what they're developing. They actually just dropped a website, a no code website that allows you to build out an app that may even you may even shield Jesse. So just keep an eye out to what base is doing, Coinbase, all of them, just to keep the leg up, pretty much.
All right, man. I'm gonna get up out of here. We're gonna get up out of here. Heard somebody mention Tau mining. Crypto Princess research at Tau mining has been lucrative with a big L, lucrative. Yeah, that's one of my favorite ecosystems. I had to shill them real quick. So we're gonna get up out of here. Everybody enjoy your weekend. Tell a loved one you love them. Drink some water. Stay hydrated. But we'll see y'all next Friday. It's your boy Crypto Millie. I'm out.
Peace.